Hey guys, welcome to this For Whoever reading. Let's jump in and see what messages want to come through. Messages for whoever needs to receive this. Hope you all are doing well. Okay, we have family and foundation, commitment, home, marriage, celebration, and security. So there might be a focus for you right now on your family, your home, your kids, your foundation, and just your overall personal well-being. Let's look further into this and see what messages want to come through. Messages for whoever needs this. We have manifestation coming through for you. Okay, so this may be something where you are, working on that family foundation. Maybe you're dreaming of buying a new home. Maybe you're dreaming of starting a family or getting married. And so this is a time where you're really working and focusing on what it is you wish to create, what you want your life to look like, and what is solid and stable of a foundational life for you. Okay, so that's a really good energy to be in where we're starting to kind of dream of what we want. Maybe we already have that solid foundation, but now we're like, hey, what's the next step? I want to see what else is here for me and what more we can do. Maybe you're looking to, purchase a new home or build a new home, and that might be what you're focusing on manifesting at this time. Let's dive deeper and see what else there is. Messages for whoever needs this. Okay, we have relationship and solitude. So it looks like you might even be single and you're looking for, maybe your future, partner to kind of come in and arrive. Or maybe you are feeling a little bit alone and you're, wanting to work on a more solid foundation for your relationship. Okay, this could be, in a marriage, in a friendship, in your family, with your children. And maybe your focus right now is in just bettering that situation for yourself into a more stable situation, whether this is just getting a little bit more close to your children, close to your partner, maybe just kind of having a little more free time to spend at home so that you have a more balanced life between work and your personal life. And that is where you feel more safe and secure. Whatever it is that you have in mind that makes you feel safe and secure and ideal for your life, that it seems to be what's on your mind right now, and maybe how that's going to play out. Maybe you're feeling a little bit alone in this situation. Maybe you have a family and maybe you work a lot and you're feeling a little bit alone because of that. Maybe your family life is continuing on while you work and you're working toward your career and establishing that. And so you might be feeling a little bit alone and left out because you're seeing them, continue on with their life as you're, working your job and feeling a little bit, left out and not seeing them quite as much. Here I have leaving, which is new horizons to be sought. Okay, so this can even be that you might be leaving a relationship or something that was significant in your life. Okay, this could be the ending of a marriage. This could even be a call to leave a situation that you already know has, come to its end or needs to come to its end. This can also be just where you're feeling, whatever it is that you're feeling is off balance in this situation. You're really looking toward creating a better foundation, whether it's just for you, yourself, you and your entire family, you and your partner, or you and your kids, whatever this may be. It's asking you to, acknowledge that you're looking for things to be more stable in your life. Okay, let's take a look at the tarot and see if I can get more depth on this situation so I can give you more clarity and some advice. Let's take a look at the overall energy of the situation, please. The overall energy here is the Four of Cups. So this is an energy where it's just saying, things just aren't exactly how you like them to be. This is an energy of boredom, dissatisfaction, stagnation. So whatever it is that's happening here, you're feeling really emotionally unfulfilled. And maybe you're feeling like, things aren't going to get better. Let's take a look at the recent past, please. Recent past. I have the Ace of Cups. Okay, so this is an energy where you're wanting more love, more emotional fulfillment in your life. Maybe you did open yourself up and say, you know what? I haven't been out dating in a while and now I'm ready. I'm open to receiving love. I've done some work on myself. and now I'm ready to open myself up for a new relationship. And so maybe you're really looking at leaving the past behind, and so that you can find a whole new relationship here. Or maybe it is that you opened yourself up to a relationship and maybe you're not feeling quite as emotionally fulfilled by this as you had thought, and you're feeling more alone than you are together. There might be a need to rebalance things between you and your partner here in order to kind of bring that sense of, stability and security to you that does feel emotionally fulfilling to you. Let's get the current present energy. Present energy, please. I have the Eight of Pentacles. So you might have been really career focused. This might be something where, you've been focusing a lot on your career. You are interested in having a relationship, maybe even a family, and moving toward that next step in your life. But you've been very career focused. Maybe you've been in school a long time and working toward that degree, and you just really haven't had time to date and put yourself out there. But the energy of wanting something fulfilling is definitely here. This may be even a call to say, hey, I've put in a lot of work to this relationship and to this family, and things just aren't, feeling as satisfactory as maybe they once were or as I thought that they would be. And so I'm just trying to navigate my way through that and find out what I can do from here to make it more conducive to, something more emotionally fulfilling all around for me and other people in the situation. Okay, let's look at the near future here. Near future. Near future. I have the Fool. Okay, so again, this is asking you to take a whole new leap of faith. This might be indicative of the fact that you've been a bit unsatisfied with your personal life because you've been really focused on work or just kind of building yourself a solid foundation so that you could be in a position to be ready to open yourself up to a new relationship, possibly marriage, maybe a family. And so now that you've kind of built your career, you might be ready to take that new leap of faith into something where you can now work on your personal life, okay, and invest in that. Let's get some advice for you here. Advice, please. I have the Ace of Swords. So this is being very honest, very clear about what it is you want, where it is you're going. So one of the first steps to, putting ourselves out there is getting really clear as to what we do want. What kind of foundation do we want to have? It's like, dreaming of what, things would look like, feel like, be like on the everyday basis once we did achieve what it is we, hope to have. So get really clear on this and be honest with yourself so that you can then put yourself out there and be very clear and honest with who you're dealing with, whether this is, putting yourself out there for a new romantic relationship, or this is being clear with a partner or children or a family about, hey, you know what, this is the way that I've been feeling lately. I'm not exactly, okay with how things have been going. I feel really distant from you guys. I want us to be closer. I want this experience to be better. This is what I'm hoping to achieve. And these are some ideas that I have to achieve that, and get those thoughts on that. You have to be very clear and very honest with people and situations, because most of the time we're just kind of going through our day-to-day lives and we're just kind of in our own world. And so people don't necessarily mean to, neglect situations or relationships or families or children, but we just getting stuck in that day-to-day grind, inadvertently. And so this is just making sure that you have clear communication with these people involved, so that you can, have the results that you're hoping for, even if this is just finding a clarity within yourself because you're now moving from career into that realm of wanting to, find a relationship and begin a family journey. You just need to be very clear so that with yourself, so that you can then be clear with anyone that you're coming in contact with of, this is what I intend to do. I intend to have, a long-term relationship. I'm looking to have a family. This is what I'm, how many kids I hope to have, and, things like that. So once you're clear with yourself, you can then be clear and truthful and honest with someone else so that both of you can align appropriately so things can work out, and that solid foundation can then be built and established so that you can then build upon that. Okay, let's look at what's hidden, what you might not be seeing. What's hidden? I have the Devil here. Okay, so this can be playing out in a few ways. Okay, maybe it is that you're hoping for, your relationship to be a little more emotionally fulfilling. And you might be doing other things to distract yourself from an unemotionally fulfilling relationship. And this may be making you feel like it's time to leave. And that may be the actual situation, okay? This may be the situation that's playing out that we're talking about here, where it's talking about leaving and seeking new horizons because emotionally you're just unfulfilled at this time. You know, here with the devil card, it could also be just playing into, those negative thoughts of just, I'm really unfulfilled. Things will never work out. My family just isn't really getting along. I'm a bad parent. I've been working all of the time and, now I'm just unhappy and there's no hope. Things can't change, but they really can. So the devil energy can play out in a few ways here where it's just either, a negative mindset, or maybe you're, feeding into a little bit of that discontentment in ways that perhaps you shouldn't, that aren't exactly good for you or conducive to the results that you're hoping to achieve here. Okay. So just be mindful of what it is, get very clear on what you want, and make sure that you stay in that energy. You may just need to have a conversation here. Okay. Let's take a look at what you don't see coming in the next week or two. What they don't see coming, please. I have the King of Swords coming out, and this is that gaining a sense of clarity and direction. Okay. This is that being very honest and saying, this is what I want. This is what's making me unsatisfied, and this is what I hope to achieve. And so these are the steps that I'm going to take to do that. Or if you're just feeling discontent in a situation that you're already in, whether it's with a current partner, marriage, children, or family, or even a job, it's just being very clear on that, getting very clear minded and taking the steps that are conducive to achieving that goal versus ones that maybe not so healthy, okay? Versus feeding into that negative mindset or feeding into those negative behaviors that can then cloud your judgment and your ability to make, clear and good decisions for your well-being. So it looks like you're going to gain some clarity here in the near future. Just, be mindful of the fact that you stay out of those negative mindsets. Make sure that you stay out of those negative, behaviors that aren't conducive to making this situation, better. This might also be getting clarity on needing to leave a situation that just is no longer emotionally fulfilling or good for you. So whatever this is, I think you're going to find some clarity here in the near future. You might take a little bit of, a risk here to take a leap of faith into the unknown, somewhere you've never been or what you've never, done or where you've never been before. But I think things are going to really go really well for you if you're willing to take that leap of faith into that unknown, and just hoping for it all to work out. But things look really good for you. I hope you found this reading to be helpful. And until I see you again, take care.